Hello, welcome back. The title of this lesson is called Box and Whisker Plots Part 1. It's actually a great lesson because we have been learning how to find the interquartile range, the Q1, Q2, Q3 kind of numbers that we use to find the interquartile range. What we're going to do is we're going to do that process again, but we're going to represent it graphically. So I'm just going to show you what a box and whisker plot looks like. Don't worry about the actual details of this right now. We'll get to it in a second. But you see that there's this like rectangular region right here. And the rectangular region is supposed to represent where most of your data lies. I mean, with every data set, there's like a core, usually there's a core amount of data, and then you can often have outliers. Like think about grades for a test. You might have a lot of people making in the 80s, but then one or two people will make 100 or maybe a 0 because they didn't show up. Those are outliers. So the shaded rectangle shows you graphically that most of your data lies between 5 and 11. And the lowest value in the data set, the minimum is over here at 3 and the maximum is over here at 12. So it's kind of graphically representing all of the information at a glance that you can see from the data. You can see the maximum, the minimum, you can see the quartiles, you can see the median and all of these things in one place. And it looks like a box with two little whiskers coming out of the end. So it's called a box and whisker plot. So let's take a look at an actual practical example. Let's say that I'm taking a look at a program on television, and I'm going to count the number of commercial breaks happen during different programs. So program number 1 has 10 commercial breaks, and then we have 4 commercials, 11 commercials, 7 commercials, 3 commercials for another one, 12 commercials, 11 commercials, 9 commercials, 5 commercials, 5 commercials, 8 commercials. So let me double check. 10, 4, 11, 7, 3, 12, 11, 9, 5, 5, 8. So the first thing we want to do to calculate the quartiles and all that is arrange the data from smallest to largest. So the program with the least number of commercials had 3. And then we had some program with 4 commercials. And then we had a program with 5 commercials, and then another one with 5 commercials. And then we had 7 commercials and 8 commercials. Here's 7 commercials and 8 commercials. And then we had a program with 9 commercials right here, and then 10 commercials right here. And then we had 11 and 11. So we had 2 different programs that had 11 commercials. And then we had finally 12 commercials right here. So let me double check. 3, 4, 5, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 12. All right, so let's start by finding the median of this data set. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 data points. By the way, if you don't know how median works, quartiles or any of that, then we've covered all this in previous lessons. Please go back to those lessons and watch. We've done this many, many times. So the median of the data set is the center value. Since we have 11 data points, then I can group 5 data points right here. And I can group another 5 data points right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if I take these apart, I see that I have a center value here, 8. And this is called the median of the data set. So the median is 8, but we relabel the median to be Q2. And I'll explain why in a second, just to remind you, but we call it Q2. So it's a quartile. So when we talk about quartiles of data, we've mentioned this many times before, but you're dividing the data set into 4 equal buckets. The lowest quartile is the lowest quarter of the data. Then you have another quarter of the data, a third quarter of the data, and finally the upper quartile is the highest quarter of the data. So you literally are chopping your data into 4 equal pieces. So step number 1, find the center of the data. The median, which is quartile Q2, we call 8. All right, now we take a look at the lower half of the data. We have 5 data points here. What's the median? Kind of if you want to think about it, the median, the middle value of this. Well, it's 5 because it's right in the middle. So we relabel this Q1 is equal to 5. And then we look at the upper half of the data and we see we have 11 right in the center. So Q3 is equal to 11. So basically, you can kind of think about it. I guess I'll draw a little circle around it or a little dot around it. We can put a little box around the 5. We can put a little box around the 8. And we can put a little box around 11. These numbers form the boundaries that make the buckets. So if you think of this being a boundary, and 8 being a boundary, and 11 here being a boundary, then we have a bucket here with 2 numbers, and a bucket here with 2 numbers, and a bucket here with 2 more numbers, and a bucket here with 2 more numbers. There's a quarter of the data here, a quarter of the data here, a quarter of the data here, and a quarter of the data here. Of course, I'm not including the boundaries where the buckets are. All the other data are chopped into 4 equal piles, which we just showed here, the different quartiles. All right, so now we have Q1, Q2, and Q3, and we also know the smallest value of the data set is 3, and the largest value of the data set is 12. So we're going to construct this box and whisker plot. You first find the smallest number of your data set, which is a 3, and you put a dot, just a single dot, at the number 3. That's the minimum value of the data set. Then we find the largest value of the data set, 12, which we go over here and put a 12. That's the maximum value. The extreme edges of the data are now on the chart. All right. Then Q1 is 5. That denotes the lower quartile of the data. And then Q2 is called the median, which is 8, and Q3, 11, is the denotes and gives the boundary for the upper quartile of the data. So 5, 8, and 11 go on the chart. 8 was called the median, which is Q2. Like you can label it Q2 if you want. Q2 and the median are the same thing. Put a dot at 8. Q1 was 5. We put a dot there, and Q3 was 11, and that's that quartile there. Then you just draw a box between Q1, the boundary for the lower quartile, and Q3, the boundary for the upper quartile. Remember, the whole idea of the interquartile range is we want to find the range of the data if we exclude the outliers. So you see how the outliers are out here in the whiskers, and the bulk of the data we now know to lie between Q1 and Q3 because we throw out the upper 25 and lower 25% of the data points, probably outliers in real life, and we take what's left over and we say that the majority of our data will lie there. So then we just shade a box between Q1 and Q3 because that is basically looking at this data here, and we ignore the outliers that are on either side of 5 and 11. So that is a box and whisker plot. So now that we've constructed one, what we want to do is mostly answer questions, because a lot of times, especially in scientific literature, you will see box and whisker plots all over the place. Look in medical studies for drugs and efficiency of drugs, and studies about different vaccines and things like that. Scientific studies with sunspots and all that, because a box and whisker plot tells you a lot of information visually without having to worry about the numbers. You can see how concentrated your data is in the shaded region. You can see how far away the outliers are from the bulk part of your data here. Do you have very long whiskers? Because if you have very long whiskers, then it means you have extreme outliers. But if you have very short whiskers, like these are kind of short whiskers, it means that you don't really have too many outliers. Most of your data is all together. And you can also see the center point of the data, the median, and of course the quartiles as well. So what I want to do now is, instead of looking at the raw data, we're only going to look at this box and whisker plot, which tells us important information. We're going to answer a few quick questions. They're just going to be very fast. Question number 1. What is the median number of commercial breaks? So if somebody gives you a box and whisker plot of commercial breaks of different programs, what's the median? Now you could go back and look at the data, or you just look at your box and whisker plot. The center of this box, the center dot, is always the median. And we can say that the median is equal to 8. So we can just read it right off the chart. The median number of commercial breaks is equal to 8 commercial breaks. Question number 2. What is the maximum number of commercial breaks? The maximum number of commercial breaks that we had in our data set, we can just look at the most extreme right value, was 12, right? What is the range of the data? Remember the range. We've been calculating it forever. The range of the data is the largest value of the data minus the smallest value of the data. And you know that the largest value of commercial breaks was 12, and the smallest number of commercial breaks was 3. So the range is 12 minus 3, right? Which is 9. And you get an answer of 9. So the answer is 8, 12, and 9. And so these are just very simple questions that we can answer by looking at a graph and a plot. You see how easy that was, instead of going over here and looking at all these numbers. And also you have to imagine that this was only like 11 numbers or something like this, right? And so it would be very easy, I think, to look at that little amount of data and answer the questions. But what if you had, like, I don't know, 10 or 15,000 data points for whatever you're studying? Then a box and whisker plot is going to be way easier to look at, because you can easily see the maximum. You can easily see the minimum. You can easily see where the bulk of your data actually is living, right in the shaded region. You can also see the median. It tells you a lot in a very small amount of space. All right, here is another box and whisker plot. Before we actually build it, I want to show you that just to kind of take a look at the difference between them. Notice that there is a shaded rectangular region and there are these whiskers and there is a center value which we call the median. But notice that this one is not symmetrical. In the previous example, the median was in the center, the upper and lower quartiles, everything was a mirror image except the maximum and minimum points were not mirror image, but the box was a mirror image. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that this is not, the median is not like right in the center of Q1 and Q3. Let's calculate the values and draw and convince ourselves that this is the correct box and whisker plot, and we'll understand a little more why it looks like this, a little bit lopsided here in the middle. So what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about gumballs. The data below represents weight in grams or mass in grams of gumballs, right? So we have a gumball that's 20 grams, and then 23 grams is another gumball, then 24 grams, and then 23 grams is another gumball, and then 19 grams, and then 21 grams, and then 26 grams, 23, and 22 grams. So we have 20, 23, 24, 23, 19, 21, 26, 23, 22. So before we do anything, let's arrange this data from smallest to largest. That's literally always the very first step. So the smallest number we have is actually 19. Smallest number is 19. So let's put the 19, let me go down a little bit farther down below. Sorry about that. Right here, 19. Then we have the 20 gram gumball. Then we have a 21 gram gumball right here. Then we have a 22 gram gumball right there. And then we have 23. But then we have another 23. Then we have another 23. And then we have 24 gram gumball right there, and then we have 26 gram gumball right there. That's all the data points. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23, 23, 24, 26. Now, before we do anything else, before we calculate anything else, what is different about this data set than the other data set? Let's just take a look at the first example one last time, just the raw numbers. These numbers were more evenly spread out. We had a range going from 3 up to 12, and it was nice, and I mean, there were some duplicate numbers in here, but it was a kind of a nice increase in numbers across all of the, across the entire range. 3, 4, 5, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 12. It was kind of a gradual increase. We had some duplicates, but it was more or less gradual increase. But this one, the distribution of the data is totally different. It's like 19, 20, 21, 22, then 23, 23, 23, 24, 26. So we have kind of higher numbers kind of concentrated. We have a triplet of numbers right here. And so let's see what that actually does to anything. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 data points. So we can group it in 4 data points here, and then 4 data points here. We pull them apart. We have a number in the center, which we call the median, which we also call Q2. The center value of the data is 23. Now we look below at the data that is below, and we try to figure out what is the median of these numbers down here. So what you do, because you don't have a center number, is you have to take the center 2 numbers and find the average of them. So you add them up and divide by 2, which you can do that, or you can just say, what comes between 20 and 21? What would be in between? It has to be 20.5. That's what is exactly in between 20 and 21. If you add them up and divide by 2, you'll get 41. Divide by 2, you're going to get the same answer. We go to the upper half of the data. Again, we don't have a center value, so we have to take the center 2 values and average them. But instead of doing the math, just say, what's between 23 and 24? Well, it has to be 23.5. If you add up 23 and 24, you'll get 47, and then you'll divide by 2, and you'll get 23.5. So now we have all the information to make our box and whisker plot. The lowest value, the smallest value is 19. Smallest value is 19. We put a dot right there. The highest value, the maximum value, is 26. We'll put that one over here. These are our extreme values. And then we say that the median is 23. That's the Q2, the center here. Median is at 23. So we put the median right here at 23, which we also call Q2. Just another name for the median. Put a dot here at 23. And then we put the lower quartile here at 20.5, 20.5 is Q1. 20.5 is between 20 and 21 is Q1. And then the upper quartile is 23.5 right here. 23.5 is the upper quartile, Q3, which is right here. So you can see that the reason this one looks lopsided is a direct result of the actual data we had, because the median was 23, but then the next two values were also 23, but then the value after this 23 was very close, so that the upper quartile here was very close in value to the median itself. So what it's telling you is that the boundaries for the quartiles of data, they don't always have to, they're arranged by the number of data points. You have to have the same number of data points in every quartile, but when you have lopsided data like this, then it ends up making the box and whisker plot look compressed like this. Like if you think about it, what's going on here is we're saying that between this and this, we have a boundary at 20.5. Here we have a boundary at 23. Here we have a boundary at 23.5. This is 25% of the data. This right here is 25% of the data, these two values. This is 25% of the data, these two values, and then above 23.5, these are the other two values. But, so the quartiles do divide the data into 4 equal buckets, but these buckets on the end have very similar values, right? They have very similar values. So even though it's the same number of data points there, everything's kind of compressed over here so that Q3, the upper quartile, the boundary for the upper quartile is close to the median because there were so many duplicate values over here. Now, what does this tell you? First of all, these whiskers are a lot farther extended than the whiskers we had before in general. This tells me that if I look at this data in general, I have more outliers. I have more outliers in my data. The majority of my data is going to lie between Q1 and Q3, and the median is, of course, right here, right? And that's what it just tells you at a glance. So let's go ahead and then answer a couple of quick questions. First question, what is the minimum weight or the minimum mass of the gumballs? You just read the minimum right off the chart. The minimum mass is 19 grams, right? 19 grams. Question number 2, what is the interquartile range? The interquartile range, remember regular range is just to take the maximum minus the minimum. Interquartile range is to take a look at only the quartiles and subtract these values. So this is 23.5. 23.5 minus the lower boundary here, 20.5. And when you subtract these guys, the interquartile range, you just get an answer of 3. Get an answer of 3. And then the last question, here's an interesting question. Read it carefully. Half of the gumballs are heavier than blank grams, or I should rephrase it. Half of the gumballs are heavier than or equal to blank grams. When you see something like half of the data is blah, 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 you know it amounts to something to do with the median, because the median is the center point of the data. You will always have half of the data points less than the median and half of the data points greater than the median. So if it says half of the gumballs are greater than or equal to something grams, then we know that right here at the median of 23 grams, that is the center point of the data. So half of the data points have to be above the median and half of the data points have to be below the median. But these data points are spread out more to the left of the median. And you can see that the median's 23 and it goes all the way down here to 19, right? And then whereas these points are more clumped over here on the right-hand side. So the answer to the question, half of the gumballs are heavier than or equal to blank grams. Blank grams is 23 grams. So basically, the answer to the question is basically asking you what is the median of this data set. But it's not just going to say, well, that's kind of boring to just ask what is the median of the data set. So kind of test your knowledge a little bit as to what the median is. The median value is the data point that is in the middle of the data set. So by definition, half of the data points have to be above that. So when we say half of the gumballs are heavier than or equal to so many grams, we're basically saying half of the gumballs have to be heavier than or equal to the median value of the gumballs, which is 23 grams in this case. So in this lesson, we've done two things. We've mostly learned what a box and whisker plot is. We've answered some questions so we can learn to read information off a box and whisker plot, but we've also taken the data and sort of constructed it so that you can learn how to find the information to put on a box and whisker plot. I'd like you to go through this again, make sure you understand, follow me on to the next lesson. We'll continue working with box and whisker plots.